Hola! Welcome to my new episode of Living in New Zealand. Today I'm gonna show you Auckland City and the different companies that you could be working for. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. Let's give it a go! Hi there! So we are gonna start in the neighborhood of Parnell. Parnell, it's quite a residential area, but there are a few buildings here that they have a few of the most popular companies in New Zealand. So back there you're gonna be seeing the building of the company Xero. Xero, it's an accounting software. It's probably the most popular tech company in New Zealand. They do mainly C#.net. They work with cloud infrastructure, AWS, and they do of course a lot of JavaScript, mainly with React in the front end, and they have some things running with Node.js. They have been a client of mine in the past, currently not working with them. A lot of people working here. These are their offices in Auckland, but they have offices also in Wellington, and there is where they have their headquarters. Great company to work for, a lot of opportunities, and definitely you should have them in consideration if you are planning to come to New Zealand. They consider candidates from overseas. Currently borders are closed, but pretty sure that they will consider candidates from overseas once the borders are open. Hi there, welcome to Takapuna. Takapuna, it's in the north shore of Auckland City. Here it's a beautiful place where there are quite a few offices that they are just 2 blocks away from the beach. As you can see, it's an amazing place. A lot of people here come to have lunch and then they go back to work. Companies that you can find in Takapuna are companies like InfoTools. There's another company called Unleashed that it has been growing quite a lot. Both InfoTools and Unleash software are Microsoft shops. They use mainly C#.net, and mainly I believe that they use Angular for the front end. There are also another place that it's a co-working place. There are plenty of startups there that they are doing data science, they are doing a lot of different things. Yes, in the North Shore you can find companies like eRoad. eRoad is a very big company. They do software for trucks and they work mainly with Java for all those Java developers that they're looking for job opportunities. That's a place that you could go. They always hire overseas candidates as well, people that are already in New Zealand, but also people from overseas. Usually they're very open to consider candidates who are not currently living in New Zealand. Well, this is a little bit of Takapuna, just a little bit of how the little town of Takapuna looks like. It's quite residential, but there are also a lot of offices, as I was saying. But usually, almost every neighborhood in New Zealand looks pretty much the same. You'll have the main street, and you'll have a lot of different shops, like here. Now in Ponsonby. Ponsonby, it's a very popular place for going out for dinner and drinks, but also there is one company that it's quite big. It's called Staff. Staff, it's a media company. They have a digital newspaper and they also have some TV shows, I believe, not 100% sure, but definitely a media company. And they hire for Java developers. They have offices in Wellington and in Auckland. Usually they use Java with Spring Boot. They use AWS as well, and they hire quite a lot of different software developers. Cool. So we are now in the city center of Auckland. This is by far the most busy street or avenue in Auckland. In the CBD you're gonna be able to find big companies like banks mainly. you can see a little bit of how it is Queen Street. It's nowadays what you can see after COVID is that it's not so crowded because a lot of people are working from home. So people come to the city twice a week, and the other 3 days they're working from home, or they are coming to the city 3 days a week and the 2 other days they are working from home. So that's why the city, it's not that busy. Not too many people today. It looks like it's a day that everyone is working from home. Still, it's a small country, it's a small city compared to bigger cities in the world. Datacom, the company that you can see in my back, it's a company that hires a lot of overseas candidates. They hire software developer in Java, C#.NET, iOS, Android, React Native, a lot of React developers for the front end, Angular, Vue.js. They hire a lot of different software engineers in different programming languages. Also, they do SAP, or they do Salesforce, every CRM, Microsoft Dynamics. So they hire a lot. It's definitely a company that you want to consider. They also have offices in Auckland, Hamilton, Wellington, Christchurch, Tauranga, and in some other cities. So definitely you want to consider them. I'm here at the Microsoft building, and I'm gonna share a story that I have read on why many companies in New Zealand use the Microsoft stack. What I understand is that Microsoft has a test lab in New Zealand, and they're trialing all their new products here first, and then they're sharing with the rest of the world. Also, most of the government and the education institutions are using Microsoft with cheaper licenses, and that's how Microsoft has a huge market share of the New Zealand technology industry. I just finished having a coffee with the software development manager of a company called TradeMe. TradeMe is the biggest e-commerce company in the country. It's a C#.NET house. They're using Google for their cloud services, and they can't find enough people. It's a company that I have worked in the past quite a lot. They're definitely open to consider candidates from overseas. Their headquarters are in Wellington, but they have offices here in Auckland, and they have also offices in Christchurch. Definitely a company that you want to consider. They're always doing new things, and it's one of the most well-known companies in the country, and everyone knows TradeMe, and everyone in New Zealand has used TradeMe at least once. If you want to buy a car, if you want to buy a house, if you want to rent a flat or a house, buy a bicycle, whatever it is that you would want to buy or sell, definitely you're going to be using TradeMe. By coincidence, I just met a React developer I know who is working as a contractor at Genesis. Genesis, it's a power company that is focusing on sustainable energy, and they're doing a lot of testing with Internet of Things for their own building, and they are taking power from solar panels. They are getting and catching water from the rain to provide their toilets with water coming from the rain, and a lot of other things. Super cool. I'm gonna show you later the view that you can get from the top of their building. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record their offices from inside, but they were beautiful. Again, a lot of software engineers. They are hiring permanent and contract. This is something I'm going to be talking in another episode. What it means to be a permanent employee, or what it means to be a contractor. So this is my last stop in the city. Just in the buildings behind me there are a few companies. One of them, it's called Figured. Figured, it's a startup that has now probably 5 or 6 years old. It has offices in Auckland, but also in the United States and in the UK. They're a PHP shop. They use PHP with Laravel. They are using Vue.js for the front end, and they definitely have hired software developers that are in other countries, countries from South America, countries like Canada as well, or Eastern Europe. Definitely they have been in growth mode and they have been hiring a lot. Another company that it's in the same building, in the back, it's a company called NVB. This company doesn't hire a lot of software developers, but if there is any infrastructure engineer, system administrator, definitely they hire a lot as well, and from different parts of the world. To finish the day, I came to Cornwall Park. It's just a few minutes from my place, and that's why I love living in New Zealand. Today I have been at the beach, I have been in the CBD, city centre of Auckland, and now I'm almost in the middle of the farm. Everything is very close to each other, and it's amazing that you can have work and lifestyle all in the same place, and just a few minutes drive from each place. Thanks for watching. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe so you can get the notification of my latest episodes. See you next time, and thanks for watching.